Welcome, everybody. I'm so excited to have you here and thank you for the lovely introduction. So, I'm curious, put a one in the chat if you're single, put a two in the chat if you're in relationship, and put a three in the chat if you're like, it's a little bit complicated, or I'm not quite sure where I stand yet, or I'm not sure how to define this. Today, we're going to talk about what love looks like, defining the trait of your right partner for a lifetime of love. Because the challenge I see is that women and men in all countries start wondering, what does love actually look like? How do I define a relationship? And they don't know how to recognize it when it's in front of them, nor do they know how to look for it. So I'm going to start my PowerPoint here. Feel free, by the way, to take screenshots at any point in time. This is all for you. I am here to serve in whatever way. So I want you to define for yourself, what is love? Is love a behavior, an action? Is it an emotion? Is it standing side by side through thick and thin and battling and knowing that the conflict is outside of you and that you're standing together working towards something? What is love? How do you define it? Because how you define it is also going to help you decide, how do I see the world and how do I find and maintain my lifetime relationship or my lifetime partner? Because when I was younger, I thought I knew what love was. In fact, I was even doing my relationship and intimacy coaching, and I had done years of healing work. And when I met my former husband, right, we fell in love, we were dating, and everyone around us said, you guys are such great friends. You belong together. There was a little bit of pressure. We were in that mid-30s age, and we really were right for each other at that moment in time. Everyone saw the connection around us, and we were such good friends. How do you see yourself in love? How do you know you're in love? Like, do you feel the butterflies in your stomach? What are you saying to yourself in your head? What are the conversations that you're having? Are you giggling in anticipation? Or maybe there's more nervousness. Or for some, like I have a friend, she knew that she found her husband and she just pushed and pushed and pushed. And like they were married within 3 months because she's like, this is it. I know it's it. So maybe that's how you do it. Maybe you imagine yourself in the future in fun or dramatic ways. Maybe you see all the greatness in them. And sometimes we don't know what we want in a relationship. We are taught this Hollywood model of look for the most attractive person, the one that creates butterflies, that's a little mysterious, that's got a little bit of drama. But is that what we really want? Which of you has a list of things you want in a partner? Put it in the chat right now. Yes, no. What are some of the things that you know that you want in a partner? Give me some examples. For example, maybe you want honesty. But do you know what honesty looks like when you're dating? Besides the lack of lying during a date, right? Having a different picture than was on the profile or exaggerating. How do you know when someone is honest? What questions can you ask to suss out how honest they are? How do you find these traits that you know that you need? And this is why I'm offering for you all the Looking for Love program for free, because it helps you to find these traits and also understand, how do I have evidence that I'm seeing this in someone, or what's the counter evidence that I don't? Because this is why it's so important to know exactly what you're looking for, not what you're not looking for, because this is the other problem I see is people think they know what they want, but instead they know what they don't want. I don't want another narcissist. I don't want someone who's always late. I don't want someone who treats me like X. That's great. And what do you want? What does that look like, feel like, sound like? Because let me tell you something. Your unconscious mind is driving everything that you do. And what do I mean by unconscious mind? So what I mean by unconscious mind, the unconscious mind is the part of you that drives you to the store when you're not paying attention. Like for those of you that drive, have you ever driven to a store and you get there and you look around, you're like, how did I get here? Or maybe you do something so ritualistic. You get up in the morning, you get dressed, you brush your teeth, you leave the house, and then you're like, did I lock the door? Your unconscious mind is driving you where you want to go. Now, have you ever tried to do something and then not done it? Like, I'm trying to go to the store, but instead I accidentally drove home, right? Or I thought I was cooking something and I accidentally threw in the wrong spice. Or you're doing something out of habit instead of out of drive. That's also your unconscious mind. So is it bringing you where you want to go? So let's say you know that you want a relationship that is free of drama. You want a really connected, loving relationship. But let's say in your childhood, you saw your parents fight all the time. Unconsciously, you may have a link that love means fighting. And even though you know, I don't want to fight all the time with my partner, your unconscious mind, when it needs safety, niggles at you to create a little fight, to create a little conflict. So you know that you're loved and it's completely unconscious. And this is what we do as humans, right? So we may not know fully what we need. We think, okay, I found this person. Maybe they're not quite right. So, but maybe I'm overthinking it and we give excuses. Maybe we know we're not unhappy. Did you know the average woman will know within 2 weeks? And average just meaning like in all the times you go out on dates and average timing, we normally know within 2 weeks to 1 month whether or not a person we're dating is right for us or not. We tend to stay for about 2 years. Right? Why? Why do we do this? Because we're not clear. And we also don't have the understanding of letting them go is the most kind and powerful thing we can do for them and for ourselves. What do I mean by that? If I know you're not the right person for me and I say, thank you, you're not the right person for me, I'm going to keep looking. You have just released that person to find the person that's going to love them 100% for who they are. And you are doing the same for yourself and vice versa. And this changes the game. This is why the Looking for Love course that I'm offering for you today changes the game for you. Because now you know that it's not about making them like you or being the right person. You get to stand up and say, this is what I want and deserve and how I deserve to be treated. And this is what shows up. Because have you ever been surprised in life by something that's not what it seems? And this is why it's so important to understand our brain can't tell the difference between past, present, and future in our relationships. So think about it right now. Like if you think about a past relationship, someone that did you wrong, maybe, and you really start thinking about what they did, can that get you worked up? Can you start noticing that anger come back? Can you start noticing that frustration come back? Because our emotional memories in our unconscious mind can create physical symptoms, but it's also what our brain references as we're looking to date or as we're looking to validate a relationship now. So just let's play a quick little game. Where is that picture or that feeling of that past someone did me wrong? Is it in your heart, in your head? Is it somewhere out here? So close your eyes and put your hand there now. And just imagine that you're grabbing that old emotion, that old situation, what they did, what they said, what they didn't do, how they treated you. Grab that and pull it all the way out of your body. And just imagine taking all of that. What color is it? How heavy is it? What does it look like, sound like, feel like? And I want you to like throw it out to the sun, like as hard as you can. Just push it all the way out. Imagine it going out to the sun and just burning up completely. Oh, when that feels complete, wiggle it out. Take a breath, and I want you to reach out back into the sun, and I want you to pull in the most love, the unconditional love that you can find and that you can feel. So maybe this is a love of a creator or God or of a pet or of your parents or of a past relationship or somebody that loves you, somebody that brings you peace. Or maybe it's a relationship that you saw on television that you're like, that's the relationship I want. What does that look like, feel like, that deep love? And I want you to pull that into your body. What does that look like, feel like? Put it back where that old emotion was. So if your old emotion was out here, put it there. If your old emotion was in your heart, put it there. And I want you to just allow that to wash all the way through you. Yeah, and feel that love, that joy, that peace, and lock it into place. And when you're ready, take a breath and open your eyes and notice what changes. because we get to feel joy in every moment, right? Yes, we move through emotions, but what are we looking at? Are we looking at all the ways that other people are crappy and all the bad relationships and all the good ones are taken and everyone online lies? Well, that's what we're going to find. But when we're like, you know what, there's someone out there for me, and here's what they look like, sound like, feel like. Now we're manifesting. Now we're bringing that towards us. And we have the knowledge of the traits that we want. Because however we see the world creates our relationship reality. Just like the example that I gave you of, if my parents fought all the time, somewhere unconsciously, I think that's love. That is what I'm going to create without even wanting to. So when we change how we look at the world, the things we look at change. Have you ever noticed yourself saying, there's no good ones out there? I've tried it all men are jerks. Or you've heard men say, like, all women are crazy, all men are narcissists, right? We have these giant categories we put these things in. And what that does now is that limits our world. So when I work with people one-to-one, we shift the picture of the unconscious mind looks at. So imagine now that you're with your partner. Just take a moment and imagine. How does it feel and look? What are they saying to you? What are you saying to yourself? And know that the perfect relationship is easier. There's a lot less drama. And your perfect relationship will also call up deeper wounds to heal. So, for example, when I met my soulmate, there was a moment where he was trying to take me somewhere and this happened and that happened. And I was like, well, I could park over here. And then we both kind of got frustrated. He goes, you know what? I'm just not having fun. We're going home. And I threw a temper tantrum like an 8-year-old. And what I had realized later is there was an unconscious part of me that was testing to see, can he handle my emotions? Because in the past, I'd had relationships where they couldn't. So we do this unconsciously to look for safety. So this is why I'm giving you all this Looking for Love course for free, because it's so important. So scan the QR code, or if you don't have your phone on you, take a screenshot of this, go now to unifiedmind.info/looking, sign up for this course because you deserve it, to know what it looks like. And imagine, what is that look like, feel like, sound like when you are with your soulmate, your husband, your wife? What does that look like, feel like, sound like? Because that is what we're bringing in. This is what you want to attract, and you get to. And if you don't know what you're looking for, how are you going to recognize it when it shows up? If you are looking for someone that looks perfect in their image, do you want to have to look perfect in your image all the time? Some people, they do, and that is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And what are the deeper life traits? How do you know they're financially responsible even if they lost their job? So go to unifiedmind.info/looking, because you get to find joy. Your mind cannot tell the difference between past, present, and future. Did you know that? So when you're thinking about past relationships and digging up all the old stuff, you're bringing that into your current body, into what you believe is possible, into your own level of confidence or lack thereof. How do you find the right partner if you decide everyone's bad? Or that you're not enough, or that you need to lose weight before, or that you need to grow out your hair before, you need to get a job before, or you need to blah, blah, blah before in order to be right for your partner. When in actuality, your partner will love you for exactly who you are, the way that you will for them. And they will treat you like the queen you are, because that is what you deserve. And you will settle for nothing less, because you can let somebody else go when they're not right for you. So thank you so much for having me. And know that when you align yourself with your desires, with your traits for your soulmate, with what you want, be the person that you want would want to be. So in other words, if you want someone smart and intelligent and honest and caring, be that smart, intelligent, honest, caring person. If you want someone that treats you like gold, treat others like gold. So thank you so much for having me. Put in the chat, what do you want? Manifest it.